Welcome to the weekend edition. This video is good through Sunday, September 12, 2010. My name is Des Woodruff, perhaps your future trading mentor and analyst here at Grok Trade. We have a lot to go over. Gang, Friday, very low, pitiful volume. All week has been very low, pitiful volume. But we have been crawling northbound, northbound, northbound. 8 trading sessions. Out of 8 trading sessions, only 1 down session. We're going to be looking at daily, weekly, and monthly videos, so stay tuned. I'm going to be rock and rolling very fast here, so stay with me. What we have here, big drop and a retracement here. Let me show you this. I'm going to draw a Fibonacci retracement from the high down here to the low. We drop, we come back, we have popped through the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement level, meaning that is more bullish than bearish on that retracement. Now, on this symmetrical triangle that we are within on the Dow, we are above all major moving averages, but the big red, the 200-day moving average. Now, technically speaking, on Friday, we did close above it. Now, but nonetheless, we still within the apex or inside the confines of this symmetrical triangle. I'm going to bring over the weekly. Now, the weekly on the Dow is still within this symmetrical triangle, but we have a couple of areas we need to bust through. We are at a resistance point. We are at resistance. We're right here, and then I have a shadow line coming down. We have 2 major areas to get through here on the weekly. Now, on the monthly, on the Dow, we have this big, beautiful bullish pennant, which is more bullish than it is bearish. A pop over 11,000 would be very bullish. For us not to have crashed and burned on the monthly tells us that we have a really good chance of still going northbound, but there's a lot of economic worries that's still out there. What we have here on the S&P daily, gang, is a definite crossover of a major trend line on the daily. Wow, that is big, big news. Unfortunately, we have what's called a tweezer top reversal pattern. And because of that, we have a chance, if we do go below 1103, we close below 1103 on Monday, that will be a confirmed, and we'll be looking for a down leg. But I think if we were to drop, we have this big leg that was acting as resistance, or this trend line that could now start acting as support. But for us to keep going northbound, I mean, listen, gang, out of 8 sessions, we've been up 7 of them with only 1 down day. This market needs time to rest, and that's why the volume has been so light. So it wouldn't surprise me to get a little bit of a pullback, but the question is how will the trend line hang in there? If we do keep going north, gang, we got the big 200 up here lumbering above that could act as resistance, but this is that big 1116 area, 1117 area. That is a huge area of resistance, so you want to be watching that very, very closely. And we bring over the weekly on the S&P, and you can see that we're still below some major 200, and the 225 moving averages are way up there. But we popped through this trend line. Now we're at this shadow line, the last bastion of hope for the bears, for the markets to go down. We are at that resistance line, but this isn't a shadow. That's a body at that line. So that's pretty bullish. And we're going to bring over the monthly. And the monthly says we are in this big symmetrical triangle or bullish pennant, and we went down, up, and up. Yeah, so we're looking at these levels. 1041 is support, and then 1148 as resistance. So we need to break out of that or break down. Those are key areas on the S&P, and I do key on the S&P. Here's the Nasdaq daily. Nasdaq daily, we have this big symmetrical triangle, but we closed above the trend line. You know, claps all around. But we have the 100 and the 200 still above us that should act as resistance, but that is a big bullish move on a daily chart. But it did it on pitiful volume. No one's overly excited. So you haven't convinced me for any sort of breakout. Why? The weekly is still below, right now, the shadow line, just like the S&P is. So the question is, what's going to happen? We are above the 200 and 225 here. That is bullish. And let's take a look here at the monthly. The monthly within the big mother of all symmetrical triangles, but within that we're also in, you know, a little bullish pennant, which is nice to see. And let's see here, bring this down. And we have 2157 as support that we're looking for, or a breakout at 2177 area. So I'm looking for that, but we have other resistance up here if it were to break out. So we have to be watching that per usual. And then we're going to go to the last but not least, but this is the Russells. The Russells had come down, broke this trend line, and then rallied back with this inverted head and shoulders. You can see this right here, busting through the neckline, comes up, giving this high base formation. And we did pop through on the 3rd, and right now we close as a doji right on it. But isn't that a juicy looking bullish pennant right there? The only thing it has to get through is the 200-day and the 100-day moving averages, and then some of these resistance points. But wow, do the markets ever, they're promising a lot of bullish activity here. We really need some good economic news to come out this next week to give us a catalyst to get some movement. All right, so let's bring the weekly in. Here's the weekly. And this one, wow, you know, we have this huge symmetrical triangle, and then we have these other areas that we're trying to bust through, but we can't do it. You can see this, we're hung up at this shadow line like everything else, but look at this support line coming up. It did bust it once, so it doesn't mean quite as much to me, but we have a number of lines here coming together. But if we got a breakdown, I'd want to see it get below 618, or a breakout, I'd like to see it above 670, and that is where we're at here in the market. So gang, we're at a real crucial point here where the markets can do just about anything. All the markets as a whole hitting their heads at resistance points, promising a major breakout. But breakouts have to have volume. I want some sentiment to come rolling in. I want some conviction in the markets to say this is a true breakout in the markets. However, if we don't get that, it would be easy for people to get nervous and the markets to start relaxing and pulling back and continuing in this choppy sideways consolidation move. So there it is. Gang, in 2 weeks, we have a mentoring program coming up. You are going to get mentored by myself and also Scott Stokes, a gentleman that I am a absolute, it's a pleasure to be associated with, and who mentored Matador or Jonathan Klein. And at one point I worked for him and in training education. And we have him coming in 2 weeks. That will be me and him will be teaching online mentoring together. Very excited about that, and you have an opportunity to do that. Listen, all you have to do is click on mentoring and fill out the form, and we'll get in touch with you. Or if you your life that you want to really learn about what mentoring is in our heart, go to meetthementors.com and watch that video. It is well worth your time. And then go and fill out the form, and we'll get in touch with you and talk with you about that. It's an incredible thing. We've had between the two of us alone, well over 1,000 mentor students that we've taught, and you're in for a great time. So anyway, I'm off to the V newsletter. V stands for video newsletter. That's my stock picks. Had a fantastic week this week. Looking for another fantastic week coming up. And I ask that each and every one of you log all your trades. Make sure you do not overtrade, and make sure you have a trading plan and you're abiding by that trading plan. Please do me a favor. Click the thumbs up and go to Grok Trade and like us on Facebook, and then pass us on to a friend. The very best to you.